Today on the Roach Koach Podcast.
Textures actually suit Devis's demented croon. The list gave it a 4 out of 5, saying that the purists, both metal and dubstep, will probably hate it. Okay. So you got Lestat on vocals,
Godzilla.
and you got Lestat on vocals. Okay, so who's bass, guitar?
Oh, Godzilla's bass.
Godzilla's bass, Kong on drums.
Yeah.
Pretty strong.
Munky on guitar.
Monkey on guitar. I got no, but boo.
Roach Koach Podcast.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Roach Koach Podcast, the journey to create the Nu-Metal Canon. My name is Lorin Kozlowski. With me, as always, the original Roach Rider, Mr. Matt Nas.
Keep it rolling, baby.
Returning to the show this week, some call her the queen of the Eclipse, but she's always the Indigo Angel, Jennifer Socia.
Hello.
We have a very special episode, everyone, for you this week. Jenny, you said, I got to come back to talk about the boys because there is a global event happening. It's the 2024 solar eclipse. And actually, in our area of the United States, the Midwest, Indiana, Michigan, we will be in the Path of Totality of this eclipse. I only found this out recently, and I said, that's interesting. That's the name of a Korn album. And then Tom from the Breathing New Life podcast sent us an email and said, are you guys going to do anything for this Path of Totality Korn thing? And I was like, now we are, Tom. Thank you for this great idea.
I love that you're like, oh, that's the name of a Korn album.
Matt.
And it's like not a piece of astronomy that has existed for years.
Matt, I was in a Zoom meeting at work and a woman brought up this Path of Totality thing. And I'm literally like muted and I'm like, wait, the Korn album? Like what? What are we talking about? Yeah, I was, totally thrown. And so if you want to know more about this, I highly recommend going to nasa.gov, which, I mean, it's occurring right now.
You knew where the lies take place?
Matt, listen, I know they're going to have a little bit of info, just a little bit of info in regards
you
to
can
this.
trust it.
Oh, man. Matt, did you wear your foil hat for this episode?
Yeah, this isn't a beanie. This is a brain protector.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, wow.
Great.
I got it from a website that's very trusted.
Okay.
It's from a guy whose name rhymes with Malik's Moans.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Well, he's going to need the cash. He owes a lot of money. We are talking about this week Korn's 10th studio album, The Path of Totality. Jenny, when did this album come out?
This album was released on December 6th, 2011.
That's about as far of a come down record as you can get.
I would say, in doing my research for this episode and listening to this album, I can say that this might actually be the come downiest of all come down records that we've ever encountered. Because what makes this album special in all the ways that word can be used is that the producers on this record are all dubstep artists. And Jonathan Devis said, I'm going to just quote Jonathan Devis. He said, I want to trailblaze. I want to change things. I want to do things we're not supposed to do. I want to create the art that's different and not conform to what's going on. We didn't make a dubstep album. We made a Korn album. And I read that and I said, wow, that is a bold statement, bold thing to say. Then, as I was doing notes for this, Beyonce put out Cowboy Carter and released almost an identical statement, except where she said, this isn't a country album. This is the Beyonce album. And I just loved that lineup of artist statements. Like, that's just something that people say now, you know?
Quick question.
Yeah,
is
Matt.
it as heavy as the original stuff or is it the heaviest thing they've ever done?
Matt, this might be one of the heaviest things they've ever done, honestly, in a way, because I have Well, I guess we'll start. My relationship with this album at the time this came out, December 6th, 2011. I'd just gotten married, and I can tell you that I did not listen to this album right at release. I'm fairly sure about that.
It wasn't a honeymoon staple.
Wasn't a honeymoon staple, no. And I remember being aware of it. I definitely heard a single and went, "Oh, they're going for it. They're dubstepping it up." In my attempts to listen to the album in 2011, 2012, I could not get through the whole thing. And periodically over the years, I would try to listen to it off and on, and I could not get through the whole thing. Now, I did an episode of Discography Discussion a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure I listened to the whole thing. I can tell you that when I did my listens for this, it felt brand new. It nothing sounded familiar besides like one of the singles.
New ears on this episode.
New ears. And I can say that every listen, I did a stereo, I did a car, and I did headphones for notes. It sounded brand new every single time. My brain could not retain this music, which we will get into. Jenny,
fresh on every listen.
It's gonna be fresh right now today. I guarantee it. Jenny, your relationship with the Path of Totality.
I hadn't listened to it before we were doing this episode, but I remember when it came out, and I remember people being like, Korn did a dubstep album, and I was like, oh, that's funny. And that was it, pretty much. You know,
it is pretty funny. Like,
I mean, that's basically that encapsulates like any relationship anyone has with me. They tell me something, I go, oh, that's pretty funny, and then that's it.
And then classic them. Like, just moving on.
You took it like news about somebody you don't hang out with anymore. You're like, Steven moved to Baltimore. You're like, oh, okay, good for him. But like, you're not gonna like Google where he is, text him, be like, where you living in Baltimore at your 40? And you're like, okay, good for them. They're living their life, and I'm living mine.
Yeah. I really was just like, huh, all right. And that was it. I moved on, continued bopping along, and whatever was happening in 2011.
Matt, your
Yeah,
relationship with the Path of Totality.
Well, I can absolutely guarantee in 2011, I never listened to this. And if I've heard any of this, it would only be because they played it when I saw them live. And I don't think they played a song from Path of Totality when we saw them live.
We'll get into the set list, Matt. We'll get into the set list. To start off, Jenny, who's in Korn?
On this album, Korn is Jonathan Devis, Munky, Fieldy, and Ray.
Beautiful. Producers.
So, Head. Is this the last Headless record?
Yes, this is the last Headless record. After this, Head slowly makes his return back, and he is on the next record and all subsequent records to date. So this is the last one with no Brian Head Welch on it. Producers on this record, Jenny, you just want to run down this list of Wild Boys?
Yeah, sure. We've got approximately 1 million. We've got Skrillex, Datsik, Feed Me, Excision, 12th Planet, Downlink, Kill the Noise, Noisia. How do I pronounce that?
I've been pronouncing it Noisia.
Okay. Jonathan Davis, Jim Monty, Downlink. Oh, and I'm getting into the mixing now. Those were the producers. There's a long list of names who did other things that are very important. And you can go to wikipedia.org to learn more.
Find those out.
Want
to find out more about Korn? Head down to your local library.
That's right.
So this record, I remember reading some reviews at the time, and it was very, very polarizing. Fieldy did an interview where he basically limited the questions that could be asked. So when they posted the interview, they basically criticized Fieldy for not taking hard questions about the album, which the interviewer and the publication did not like. I could not find that interview. I don't know if it's been wiped from the internet, but I do remember thinking, rude. Like, but at the same time, that's the metal press for you, You step out of
Oh,
line,
they're
they're
gonna
gonna
stick it to
they're
you.
gonna stick it to you, man. Now, the interesting thing about it is that when you read the critical reception part on Wikipedia, it's a real up and down situation. So they started off and say the album received praise in many reviews. Rock Sound gave the album an 8 out of 10, remarking that it may not be perfect, but Korn have thrown caution to the wind and set out an impressive template for a future sound for a band doing that nearly 20 years into their career. They deserve your respect. Then they also say they do note, however, the album sounds a little formulaic and monotonous at times. Still get you an 8 out of 10. Spin gave it a 7 out of 10, saying, thing is, dubstep slithering textures actually suit Devis's demented croon. The List gave it a 4 out of 5, saying that the purists, both metal and dubstep, will probably hate it, but if you're willing to have your brain assaulted from every direction by a new Frankensteinian metal beats hybrid, you'll find an album packed with pure adrenaline.
I'm so glad I don't have to read on this show.
Matt, are you laughing because Lorin said Devis?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
What did I say?
You said Devis instead of Davis.
Oh, sorry.
So you should probably be so humiliated.
You fucking idiot.
Guys, listen.
Two people have never made a mistake.
Never,
Listen.
ever.
Listen.
Perfect in every way.
Listen, I don't know if you guys know about this, but there is a group called the Cottonmouth Kings. And, yeah. And apparently we mispronounced all of their names when we did them on the show.
In particular, D-Loke.
D-Loke, who we called D-Lock. And I think I think we talked about this when Mitch was on. But
he only says his name 700 times.
He says his name a bunch of times. Listen, I've been doing this show long enough. This is the 10th Korn album, really the 11th Korn album we've done. And I know Jonathan Davis's name, but when you're reading off of Wikipedia that you haven't pre-read, you might, your words might get a little mixed up in the old mouth.
You give it a little flair.
That's fine.
I'm doing what I can over here.
Will I call him Jonathan Devis for the rest of our lives?
Yes, you will.
Yes, I will.
100%. Will that one mistake haunt you forever, Lorin? Yes.
Hey, this is a show built on mispronunciations and flubs. So,
yeah. I do have a question about that then.
Yeah.
On this record, Munky, his guitar.
Actually, Matt, I don't know. I straight up don't know. You're going to hear things. You're going to not hear things. You're going to question what you hear. What is actually done on this album? A true mystery. A true mystery. All Music gave the album a 4 out of 5, said despite all the electronics, there's no mistaking the Path of Totality as a Korn album, and one of their better ones to boot.
Ooh.
So that was the positive run. Now, Alistair Lawrence for BBC Music. You didn't have to tell me he was at the BBC with a name like that. Criticized the album, saying that once the novelty of the squelching space-age din they've birthed fades, what's apparent is how little Korn have to say for themselves these days. Sputnik Music strongly criticized the album, giving it a score of 0.5 out of 5, stating that the Path of Totality is a truly horrible album built on a foundation of tired, overwrought stereotypes put together not just by a clueless band, but a bunch of equally confused artists who truly have no proper understanding of the genre they claim to be part of.
Wow.
That sounds like someone who is fighting with their family and still has to work. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck this album. You don't understand this genre. I don't understand the genre either, but
No Ripcord gave the album a 1 out of 10, stating that it is samey, ugly, and spectacularly stupid all at the exact same time.
That at least deserves a 6.
I would say at least a 6. If it's all three at the exact same time,
then then you really did something.
Yeah. Jason Heller for the AV Club gave the album an F, stating to Korn's credit, The Path of Totality is its most radical reinvention to date. It's also the worst slab of sludge it ever shat. Enemy,
Wow.
yeah, Enemy gave the album a 6 out of 10, saying that it's not quite a car crash, but a near miss, and jokingly asking, what do you do when you're 10 albums into your career, sliding down festival bills and trying to bury the tag of creators of a genre you now despise? If you're Korn, you Google 2011 music and rope in a bunch of DJs for a dubstep album, of course. And so you've got,
Ouch. Ouch.
so you have all of that. This is how this critical section ends. On April 11, 2012, the Path of Totality won Album of the Year at the 2012 Revolver Golden Gods Awards. This was Korn's first ever win at the Golden Gods Awards. And
Sure.
Yeah. Matt, are you doubting that it was their first ever win at the Golden Gods?
No, but like, okay, sure, this one.
Wait, Matt, are you saying that the voting system for Revolver may be corrupt?
I'm not saying corrupt. I am saying, like, as my child might say, wonky doodle.
Well said. Well said.
She's a wordsmith.
She is. She should work for the BBC Music. You know, she could get right in
Her
there.
and Alistair.
Her and Alistair in the newsroom just trading copy. Yeah.
I have the perfect retort.
Yes. So I do remember when that was awarded this like Golden Gods.
It's a major award.
I was like, okay, somebody did something. Now, sales wise, sold 55,000 copies its first week, debuted at number 10, making it Korn's 11th album to peak within the top 10. And as of January 4, 2013, it sold 270,000 copies.
It does not seem like great guns for our boys in Korn.
Well,
I know the media landscape has changed, obviously, but
I mean, this is peak file sharing era. I can say that when I did listen to this album at the time, I mean, them were some MP3s that I got off of some leak site. I can tell you that much. Now, since then, don't come for me, boys. I got a physical copy here.
What?
Wow, there you go.
I have it here. I have the special edition digipack. I picked it up from our local friends, Dearborn Music, for a sweet $10.97.
Wow. Special editions cost more.
Well, you get a lot with the special edition, Matt. You get 2 bonus tracks. You also get a bonus DVD of The Encounter, the live concert performed in the desert. I have not watched this yet, but it's quite a show. Clearly pulled from the Korn 3 Remember Who You Are tour. And because it has a bunch of those songs on it, but it also has Clown, Shoots and Ladders, Got the Life, Freak on a Leash. But it also has, Move On, Throw Me Away, Oil Dale, and Pop a Pill. So, give a little, get a little. It's a digipack here. The Korn logo appears to be a giant structure under construction.
Okay.
And metallic. So looks like you have some workers there. Jenny, what are your feelings on this album cover?
It's pretty boring. I mean, it's like fine. But yeah, there's nothing that really stands out. Just it seems like a pretty boring concept to me. Is that unfair? I haven't seen it in real life. I've merely looked upon it on the internet. Yeah.
Glanced at a JPEG.
It might be different in person,
Yeah, I think that's not inaccurate. This is a band that used to give us album covers of Children in Peril and, Destroyed Dolls, things that made me feel uncomfortable. The Untitled album covers, like some weird drawing. And here they're just like, we're under construction. Watch for the tape. Like, okay, Korn, I guess. Notably, in the thank yous, you only have thank yous from Jonathan, Munky, and Ray. No Fieldy thank yous.
Wow.
Yeah. Notable, James Munky Schaefer does thank his then fiance, Yevis Yenti, and Matt, you and I and Josh Toomey have been having a little text thread about Munky, who is prime wife guy with his wife now. But at the same time, you and him have a bit of a thought process that he's maybe being held hostage.
Well, I would say is that there are some photos of him where he seems to be trying to do something,
Mhm.
and she's very much interested in showing her affections towards him. Like, hey, look at this billboard of us being sold out in LA. And she's very much on him. Very much. Very much.
Can we just get a kiss? Can I just get a kiss?
How about an Instagram filled with the wettest kisses that you can ever imagine?
Listen, Matt, I have a feeling. My thought process when this was brought to my attention, the level of affection that Munky's wife gives toward him, and that he's a little taken aback by, is that Munky actually may smell a lot better than we know.
I would not disagree with that.
Yes. So, Jenny, are you familiar at all with the Munky Instagram and his very affectionate wife?
No, this is all new. I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to
this
dive in.
offline.
Yes,
Yeah.
the key video for me is he's standing in front of the billboard. It's clear they saw it. They pulled up to the side of the road. Munky asked for a photo. She's filming a video, and he's like, "Are you taking a picture?" And she's like, "No, I'm taking a video." And he's like, "I want a picture." And she's like, "No, it's a video. 30 years, you're doing it, honey." And you can tell Munky's like, "I just want a photo."
Huh.
You know,
Well-
I'm gonna screw it all up, but I have to show this to you.
Okay.
It's not gonna be perfect, but there we go.
All right. Hold on.
Those-
I gotta go into full screen mode to see this. Is this the same wife from these thank yous?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, they've been together for quite a long time, which is
I want to say, I think
amazing.
they've been married for maybe 10 years, and I think they've been a couple for like 15 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's his eyes in this particular picture that,
I can see that, and
that
he
screamed to me hostage. That just
yeah, I think so. Can we
yeah, it's a lot of
kissing.
a lot of wet kisses.
Can I see her Instagram, please? I have a
Of
theory.
Of course.
Thank you. I'm putting my theory together. Please
All
show
right,
more.
let's see. All right, let's just. All right.
Oh,
There.
wow. A little bit twisted.
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
She is a lovely, lanky lady. There we go.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
Also, I believe she is very good friends with Trent Reznor's wife, Mary Queen.
interesting.
Yeah. And but I believe both this woman and Mary Queen were both former models, and so I gotta believe that they have some sort of connection there too. But maybe just all these rocker guys' wives are all on a group chat.
Well, I believe my poll quote was, "I love my wife. I love my beautiful Dracula wife."
Honestly, if Munky wasn't married to a Dracula wife, I'd be skeptical. I'd be like,
It's true.
this seems like not the right move for you.
I would imagine that being in a relationship, it seems like they have kids. Otherwise, I mean, maybe they do,
Yeah,
maybe
they do.
they don't.
Oh,
but
they've got a
like,
bunch of kids. Yeah.
yeah. So like, if he's gone a lot, there's probably a level of like jealousy and strain, and like when people come look at your social media, they need to like see
They
and
need to know.
that you
Mm.
have a wife. And I
Mhm.
bet that Munky's not necessarily.
All I hear is Don Draper says, "She puts the mark on her man."
There you go. Like, and then what I got in that picture is less that Munky's being held hostage like in his life, but more that like he's being held hostage in a world where like social media is a thing in this
Oh.
way. And he's like, I don't who cares? I don't want to do this. And she's like, we're doing this. So I mean, I obviously have no fucking idea what's going on in Munky's marital home, but if I had to guess, that would be my guess.
In 12 years, they're doing something right.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know people who have dated people that are like musicians who are on tour a lot. And if you live in the same area, you probably do like text and talk a lot with the other people who are left behind. And then also, like, there were definitely some of them who were like making sure that their presence was known. Which to me, like, I get, but also, like, isn't it your partner's responsibility to maintain whatever promises that they have and commitments that they've made to you? Like,
that's what you would think, but
I don't know.
I'm
just saying, like, I don't know. You can't control what they do. You can't control what Munky does. All right.
Munky got a monkey, I think.
Yeah.
So if Munky's going to be faithful to you, Munky's going to be faithful to you. Doesn't matter how many wet kissy pics there are out there. You know, it's kind of like his responsibility, man.
I'd say another good video she posted was they went to see the Madonna tour, and she was doing a lot of like videos with her and some other Dracula women that they went with, and then it would pan over to Munky, and he'd be like, he'd realize like after like a half second, oh, this is a video, this is not a photo. She's got her phone out. Okay, yep, okay, hello, it's me. And honestly, it's now must watch Instagram. I'm just, people have been trying to count on Instagram, and I was like, you are not following Munky's vampire wife. That site is alive.
Instagram is alive, baby.
I mean, she may be undead, but the site alive.
On the up and up.
Yeah. In the thank yous in the Digipack, I will say that Jonathan Devis is so emphatic. You know that he was all in on this idea. This was his idea. We are doing a dubstep album. This was not somebody came to him. Jonathan Devis was like, I love dubstep. Korn's doing a dubstep record. I'll just read you some of this. He says he starts off, he thanks his wife Devin for pushing me to be the best I can be and for all the nights sleeping alone while I'm out making music and touring the world. I love you, baby. My sons Nathan, Pirate, and Zeppelin, I love you, boys. Jeff Quatnitz, Peter Katzis, and Mark Phillips. We couldn't do this shit if it wasn't for you guys. I love you. Okay. So that's who's been thanked so far. Who do you think he's going to thank next? Jenny, who should he thank next, you think?
God.
Considering who worked on the album. Got a couple options.
Anybody who worked on the album?
Okay. Jenny's going to say
maybe
anybody.
Skrillex?
Okay, Matt's going to say Skrillex. I'm sorry, you're both wrong. Next up, Monster Energy, the greatest company I've ever been involved with.
There we go.
All right.
I was like, okay, well, let's see who's next. Ableton Live, Native Instruments, Novation, Kirk Speakers. Okay, we thank the speakers. Awesome. Who's next? Okay, here we go. Skrillex, 12th Planet, Flinch, Kill the Noise, Noisia, Excision, Datsik, Feed Me, and my boy Downlink for teaching me mad skills and dubstep production. All of you guys are a huge inspiration to me musically, and I'm so happy to call you my friends. Then he thanks Doug and Sandy DeBerti. Thank you for making my dreams come true. He thanks Ron Vetti for not judging me and just being my friend. I want to know more what's going on there.
Wow.
A lot going on with Jonathan Devis. This could be like a heavy, lifestyle thing, or this could be a, hey Ron, what's going on? It's me, Jonathan.
Jonathan Devis or Davis?
This is Jonathan Devis.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure I knew who I was talking to before I decided how judgmental to be.
Yeah. Listen, I'm my band Korn. We're making a new album.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
exciting news.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna do a dubstep album.
Hell yeah, that's perfect. So good.
Thank
so
you.
Good. Wow.
Thank you.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, and on this phone call, I'm the FBI.
Oh, you gotta tap the calls, man.
I've heard about the Path of Totality, and I don't know what it is.
Right. Neither does the FBI. They're like, it sounds dangerous. Tap Korn's phones. Well, Ron, thank you so much for not judging me.
Would never judge.
Thank you.
That's not my way. To be
It's not.
judgeful. I wouldn't do it.
All right. Okay.
Just know that, okay?
Thank
No
you.
matter what, you could tell me anything,
Oh, thank you,
and
Ron.
I would not be judgeful.
Oh, all right, Ron.
Anything you want to tell me. My phone isn't tapped at all. I don't even know what that would even mean, and I wouldn't judge.
Oh,
So
well,
please, Jonathan Devis, just know that. Okay, if you want to change your name, you can. I
Thank
won't
you.
be mad or judgeful.
Thank you,
Okay.
Ron. All right. I gotta go. I got a shipment of Monster coming in, so gotta
All right.
I gotta sign the invoice. All right. Thanks, Ron. Bye.
Bye.
Also thanked Oppie, Karen, and Monica for keeping my shit straight. I can only assume that he's referring to Oppenheimer. So good one there.
Probably.
Yeah. The most sensitive person in the world.
Right. And here we are. This is, I believe, the 10th line of the thank yous. Monk, Fieldy, and Ray. Thanks for opening your minds and letting this record happen. You all are my brothers, and you guys fucking killed it.
Wow.
All right. So
you know
if that sentence doesn't tell you that who's the captain of this ship, I don't know what would.
It's one Jonathan Devis. That's who it is.
That's exactly right. Well, was anybody opposed to listening to some of this?
I think we
gotta listen to it. We gotta listen to it.
Not
another 30 minutes.
Listen. We're all the comfort of our own homes. Okay?
It's fine. They he personalized everything. He's just Jonathan Devis, I think, knew this was. I'm sorry, Jonathan Devis.
Yeah, I was
Jonathan
Devis, who? Furiously Googling.
Yeah, he definitely knew that he was going out there with this, and probably spent a lot of time reassuring people or telling people this is what I want to do, and I'm serious about it. And people supported him all the way because listen, the album got made. It's out there. I got holding the digicopy in my hand. So a digicopy. What am I even saying this morning, guys? My mouth is
you ready?
Out of my body. Yes. Jenny, how are we kicking things off?
We're kicking things off with Chaos Lives in Everything featuring Skrillex.
Thanks for watching this episode of Roach Koach on YouTube. Unfortunately, we do not play the music here on YouTube because we want to avoid those sweet copyright strikes. But you can check out in the description. We have the links to the podcast itself, which includes all the clips from the music that we hear. And back to the show.
Matt, we will start with you. This is your first experience with the Path of Totality. And is this your first experience with dubstep, or are you a dub head?
Well, like everybody who was around at that time, you couldn't avoid dubstep because it kind of permeated everything like that. I think it's Scary Monsters. Is that
Scary Monsters and Night Sprites? Yep, that's
that is pretty much for a casual, the quintessential dubstep track. And I've heard that plenty. The EDM boom of this time, coupled with the dubstep boom, did not miss me. I wasn't an enormous fan, but I like electronic music, as is well noted on this show. So I did listen to some of this, but it has never been my absolute favorite. But I liked it, but just didn't love it and make it my lifestyle. Listening to this, it is clear to me that Jonathan Devis found a musical genre that he felt could work with Korn. That he finally found the electronic thing that he'd been, as a well-established fan of The Cure and kind of Depeche Mode and things that are a little bit softer and a little more electronic. Hearing this, it's like, oh, I finally have something that is as brazen and as jarring as Korn is, and now I can put that in the pot and stir it up. Whether it's successful or not, I don't know. I don't know if it really 100% works on my first listen of Chaos Lives in Everything, because it's like, what is the phrase? You can't be half pregnant. Like,
You cannot. It's impossible.
Like
Yeah.
it feels like, no, you're either gonna, like, you got the bleepy bloopy sounds and everything like that, but it's just like, you can't have clean vocals. Like, why wouldn't you also attack your vocals on it?
Oh,
And like,
Matt, vocals will be attacked.
oh, good. Oh,
Yes.
thank God.
Vocals will be attacked. Do not
But
worry.
like I mean, even here, like, he could have gone into it a little bit more and embraced that chop and like that stutter that's kind of all over dubstep.
Okay. So your feeling is that they didn't go hard enough in
Yeah,
dubstep
honestly.
in this song. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Jenny, your thoughts.
So this song worked for me. There's a bit toward the end that I was like, okay, guys, let's not do that. And it was just like lyrical content about just like raping someone, which classic. I was just like, all right.
He says that a lot in this album. He
Yeah,
brought it back.
he really does. I was like, oh, because I think this makes sense. It makes complete sense to me that Jonathan Devis was really into this. And also that I think it works with Korn. Like, I think it does. I mean, there is, I guess, yeah, just like the lyrical content of this. I'm like, oh boy. Did you, Lorin, happen to watch that like Billboard song by song interview he did?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. No.
So he did a song by song. It's Jonathan Davis sitting in the middle, and
I'm sorry,
then
who
Jonathan Devis.
Okay.
Excuse
All right.
me.
Okay. All
Sorry,
right.
my apologies. That's embarrassing.
All right.
And then Fieldy is on one side of him, and Munky's on the other side of him, and they basically don't say a word the whole time.
Ooh.
Which is kind of funny, except for Fieldy makes a couple of like remarks that make his lack of thank yous unsurprising to me. But it was funny because he's talking about like what was behind all these songs, and in this song he's like, it's just kind of, I'd say, how about like there's chaos and everything, it's just like everything's chaotic, it's just really chaotic. And it made me laugh super hard, so thought I'd share that.
Asked and answered.
Yeah.
Do you think that what's Chaos Lives in Everything about? It's about how chaos lives in everything. Like, oh, okay. What insight, Jonathan?
Yeah. I also think that like, I don't know, a lot of like the criticism about, like, oh, like Korn needs to like stick to what they were like, or that this was like a cash grab or something. Like, I guess I just don't see it that way. I feel like they came into like something like trying to break a genre, and then that became a genre itself. And so it makes sense to me that they're going to continue to try to like expand and do different things. And I guess like if you don't have the context of like all of the different side projects of the members of this band as well, or like where each of their interests like lie outside of what you think of when you think of Korn, it might seem weird, but it makes complete sense to me based on everything that I've learned over the years,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that listening to it for the show, I was definitely thinking this makes more sense now than I think I gave it credit for at the time. I will say also that when this album came out, I was still a bit of like, I would say, agnostic to negative on dubstep in general. I had to Google it, but the previous summer, before this album came out, I went to the Pittsburgh Electronic Music Festival. The one and only time they had it. They wanted to make it annual, but I don't know what happened. And it was I would say 3/4 dubstep. I want to say Excision was the headliner, but Excision was the headliner, and then the sub headliner was Mastercraft, which was the reason I was there. Mastercraft is coming off of sort of like the tail end of Bloghouse and everything like that, so they're still doing that. But everybody no matter what artist it was, even if they were doing hard techno or drum and bass or anything, they would put a dubstep drop in at some point. And I remember, like, the audience was, I mean, at that time I was 29, and I think the audience was largely early 20s teenagers. And when that wub hit, man, they hit. Like, that's what they were there for. And I went there with my friend Lorin, and I remember there was a dubstep drop that happened during the Mastercraft set, and I remember her standing with her arms crossed as literally everyone around us like did like the Matrix move, like drop their body down. It was a hilarious visual. Like, I wish I had a picture of it. It was so funny. And then I remember when Excision came out, like, his set was all wubs, and we left because I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. You
I
could
like
find,
the wubs.
yeah, you like the wubs?
I actually
I
really
like the
do like the
wubs.
wubs. Yeah.
Okay. So I would say that as time has gone on, my appreciation has changed a bit. I can tell you that I remember distinctly driving to vote in the 2012 election, listening to Skrillex Bangarang. For some reason, I remember that forever. And so I definitely was in at that point, because certainly by the time that Spring Breakers came out in 2013 and Skrillex did the soundtrack for that, I was like all in, and definitely was really like enjoying his music at that point. I would say a lot of the other ones, I find that there's too much of a, if there's too much wub and not enough tempo, then it kind of just, I don't know, it just sounds like noise, just sounds like squelches. So, that's kind of where I draw the line. And Matt, you were bringing up earlier just like how inescapable like the dubstep sound became at a certain point.
Yeah.
A couple other notable dubstep dabblers in this time period. Jay-Z, Kanye West, Watch the Throne has an entire dubstep song that the moment it came out sounded dated.
Which one?
You Can't Stop Us.
I'm truly probably. I feel like half of Watch the Throne is very skippable. So,
Matt, probably.
Oh, wow.
Listen. Watch the Throne has, like, I would say 3 all timers, and let me see. It's Who Gon' Stop Me? Yes, track 9.
Okay.
Which has a sample of Flux Pavilion's song "I Can't Stop."
I can't stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
that one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one was there's a Taylor Swift song. I think it's "I Knew You Were Trouble" that has a dubstep drop.
Yes.
Wild for the Night. Remember that song?
Oh, I loved Wild for the Night. I love
Me
Wild.
too.
Which
I
one was
love
Wild for the Night?
ASAP Rocky, Wild for the Night. Fuck being polite, Matt.
That's
that
a good
song.
one.
That song fucking rules.
A lot of that
fucking rules.
ASAP,
Guys, that song rocks.
that era ASAP is gold. I love that era. ASAP.
It rocks.
I heard Goldie the other day, and I was like, "Turn it up, please."
Yeah, it rules, guys. It really rules. I did love it. I mean, I don't know.
I love that your Midwest mom came out so hard. It's the best.
Oh my God. Okay. So I listened to this record. I have like quite a commute now. I got a new job. And so I have like a 45 to an hour commute. So, and I leave so early. Right. So the first time I listened to this, it was like 7:00 in the morning. I'm like driving to work, and I was like, dubstep's pretty cool. And I've never felt older in my whole fucking life. This is like 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm like, maybe these kids are on to something. Like, driving to my corporate job super early, couple coffees deep, just like wearing wide aerosol, like, what are they? Aerosols, like comfortable heels, just fucking, God, I felt so old, and I wanted to call you guys just really early, but
I mean, we would have been up. I mean,
that's true.
I'm getting my kid ready for school. So.
Yeah, there have just been a few, and I'm not that old, but like, there's just, I feel like
There's things.
these moments that I'm like, you just feel your age. I don't think it's bad. It's just like, oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, for sure. So it rules. It rocks.
It rocks.
It rocks and rules. Yeah.
I will say, songmeanings.com, not a ton of comments. Some people going through issues with the new direction of the sound, but most people want to really dive in to the meanings. Like they're feeling song meanings on this album. GCI 725 said they're pretty sure the song is about disorder existing in every aspect of life. The metaphor of the relationship is showing how everything, even the best intentions, eventually degrades into a chaotic state. Which I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Frezit said, such a killer song from Korn's new album. Is it about liking a chick but being too afraid to be normal around her, and then chaos breaks out and you end up raping her? Pretty hectic. What thoughts, people? I was like, delete your account.
My thought is we need to
delete your account.
Send you somewhere. You need to be put on some kind of list.
Some kind of watch list. Yeah. There is a music video for this song. There are two music videos for this song. This was the fourth single for this album. Korn made one music video. They released it. The fans hated it.
That was the one you sent me, right? With all the skateboarding?
With all the skateboarding.
That was actually cool, I thought.
It was fine. I thought it was very fun, but apparently the fan reaction was so negative that they had to make just a normal live video. I've never heard of this before, especially for a fourth single. Like, okay, they didn't like the video. Move on.
Fourth single. This is where I draw the line.
Apparently,
so what didn't they like about it? So the video, just to describe it, there's like a businessman walking around, and then he basically gets like attacked by a bunch of people on skateboards, and then eventually they like his phone rings and he smashes it with a skateboard, and then he joins the skateboarding people. They're all at the grandma's house, I'm assuming. And
doing sweet tricks.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It was just like a normal, perfectly fine, cool video.
Yeah. Korn's not in it, but it's just, it's just this guy. Yeah. And it's got a lot of gratuitous slow-mo, and basically a guy fighting skateboarders. And it was just a weird note in the Wikipedia that basically just said, like, fans' negative reaction forced them to just release another live video. Very strange. I think this video is fine. I'm saying bump it, because I don't even think it's on. I think the link I sent you was not even on the official Korn. Like, Korn doesn't even have it on their official site.
Yeah.
And so I say justice for the original Chaos Lives in Everything video. That's the one for me. Yeah, there's some good slow-mo in it. This guy gets hit and his coffee goes in the air. I mean, the moment that happened, I was like, this video's already off to the races. We're in for it. He just got attacked or collided with, and his coffee's going everywhere. I mean,
yeah. I didn't see those texts that you sent me until I woke up, and I couldn't figure out if you were talking about that video or if you were talking about the new Beyonce record. And I was like, I'm gonna assume this is a video. But yeah, I thought it's so fucking dumb. It's like I want to defend this video. I think it was good. I think they did a good job.
So there you go. Let's keep it going. Jenny, what's next?
Up next, we've got Kill Mercy Within featuring Noisia.
So I will say, when doing a headphone listen, I definitely hear what sounds like live instruments in the mix more. I will say that in a CD listen and a car listen, that all the dubstep overwhelms, the electronics overwhelm, and you can't hear that nuance. On headphones, though, I was like, okay, I can hear some guitar. I'm gonna hear some of Fieldy's bass sounds. Drums, I'm just gonna say it. Ray's credited, but I don't know if there's any live drums on this album. But this one, I wrote in my notes the lyric, disgraced, expendable, we are not really real, a mirage of solitude of what is they are trying to heal, and I will not be made to feel we are sealed in a fake charade. Jonathan Devis, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lorin, come on.
He once again, he was all in. This guy was like, I'm shutting the door. I have lyrics to write.
Mm.
He went all in. So I honestly I wrote with the chorus that says there's nothing left but open sores. I said Korn, the back. And this basically reminded me of like a track like Make Me Bad, but they were like with more buzzing noises. Which I do like the idea that Korn was like, we need to be noisier. So yeah, I like this one. Jenny?
I also like this one. In that Billboard interview, Munky said that this riff came over and it was like, done on like a keyboard. And the way he said it was like super diplomatic, but what I took from it was like, he's like, you can tell it was made for a keyboard, not so much a riff you'd write for guitar because it's all over the neck and it was very difficult to get, but I've never heard another guitar riff like it. So seems like this one was tough to play. I don't I don't play guitar myself, so I don't know, but I thought that was interesting and made me listen to the song a bit differently, but I
Hmm.
liked it. I really think this works for me, I'll say. Like, I think it's kind of like, I guess, the same way I feel about like Rush albums in a way. Like, they go into all these different places, but like once you're bought in and on board with like a band's journey, for me, I'm just like, sure. Sure. And so like it was easy for me to meet this album where it was, I think. It really did work for me. It rocks.
There we go.
Yeah,
Matt.
I think this is right in their wheelhouse. I don't think that this is a humongous swing. This feels very Corn to me, even with the sounds. I think Make Me Bad is a great analog to it. Like that feels like the touchstone that launches an album like this, which you can see the threads connecting. And in that sense, I like this one more than I liked Chaos Lives in Everything because, like, yes, it had the whoops, but it had you could hear a riff and you could hear you like everything in this one made a lot more sense to me. It was like, okay, this is pretty locked in. This is very much a Corn song with modern production, not oh, this is Corn's dubstep song. It was like, no, there's a Corn song that has that seasoning.
Okay. Songmeanings.com. Guys, I'm just gonna ask you a question of whether or not you think this is a plant or
Oh,
not. The commenter's name is Simple Dre 3. Welp, they did it again. Wow. Corn rocks. I love the melody of this song. I think this song is talking about how messed up the world is. No one can be real with themselves anymore. People hate, and hate just keeps swelling. And now we got to use it. So he's not afraid of it, but he's forced to live with it.
I mean, the first half of that comment is basically what I've been saying. So
Jenny,
I
are
guess,
you an industry plant?
Are you a plant?
yeah, I'm the worst industry plant because I don't do shit.
Jenny's like, I'll promote your album in 15 years.
I'm like
on it.
one leaf of like a spider plant that's just like hanging on barely. They're like, is that dead? Someone's like, no, I could save
No.
it. I'm the worst plant. Yes, but yes, I'm an industry plant.
Beautiful. AppRocks01 posted one under my interpretation and goes really deep in. I'll just hit you with the top here. This song is about the recent wars in the Middle East. I think it's directed at the soldiers in general.
Mm.
And then it breaks down how each part is about the soldiers and our wars overseas, and how basically the open sores that are that are referenced in here are the U.S. pulling out their troops, but everyone is still sore over the whole thing. And
Oh,
I think that's
well,
adorable. Now, TSC 2077 said, I need to get some of those drugs you're on, Aprox01. Whatever can mess a person up in the head enough to believe that must be good. And Dylan is awesome came back and said, TSC, you are an idiot, by the way.
Oh God, there it is.
wow, okay.
I think Aparox 01 is right. And the bringing existence to its knees part is about the terrorist and army is killing everyone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Listen,
Mm.
evergreen, you know.
This is the path.
Yeah, I like saying you're an idiot. By the way,
By the way,
by the way, NBD, just letting you know.
you're an idiot. By the way,
By the way,
By the way,
by the way,
by the way.
I looked up set lists for this album, and Kill Mercy has not been performed since May 15th, 2023 in Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania. Is performed 76 times by Korn.
Wow, wow, wow.
There you go. All right, Jenny, what's up next?
My Wall featuring Excision.
For me on this one, and this is one that I'm like, I just hear the original. I'm curious how that would sound. I was fine with it. But you know, I I kind of would rather hear the untouched version. Jenny?
Yeah, I thought this one was all right. I agree. I didn't know that the wubs added a lot, but keeping with the theme of the album, I get it. In the interview, Jonathan said that this song was about he starts out every day with his wall all the way up, and it gradually gets beaten down by like people or girls. It
People
definitely-
and girls?
Yes, people and girls.
because we
I
all
will-
know girls aren't people.
I
I think we know this.
yeah,
This has been established.
for sure. I'm very aware. But yeah, I think I will say this interview, it seemed like none of them wanted to be there at all. It wasn't their finest hour. But that was funny. She's like, yeah, I just got like a wall up and it gets beaten down. Yeah. So I agree. This definitely feels like it's fine, but nothing to write home about.
Matt, is your
Yeah,
wall up or is it down?
Well, walls up,
Okay.
always. And then throughout the podcast, you just keep knocking them down. Here's what I found interesting. I felt like we are very much in a Nine Inch Nails song at first. I was like, okay, this absolutely is a Nine Inch Nails song. And then the wubs kind of take me into, okay, this is dubstep song, but it doesn't really add much to it. We could have just had a dark electro Korn song here and been fine with it. I still feel like they are dancing on the fence with Jonathan's voice. Like they are still very much keeping it clean. Now, I don't know, in the last back half of all of these songs, they might have gone full vocal processor, but I feel like that is the thing that pulls it out of like going whole hog. And maybe that is a good thing because it does keep it Korn. But at the same time, I'm like, can you just jump in? Just go for it. Like,
Matt, you want a vocoder, you want distortion on the vocals so bad. I can
so
feel
bad.
it. Feel
Yeah.
it. You want a robot voice.
Now I get it because again, using the touchstones of The Cure and Depeche Mode, Dave Gahan's never doing that. He never uses vocal processing, and neither is Robert Smith. Robert Smith is very much like, this is my voice and this is what it is. So, and everything happens underneath them.
He also brings up Gary Numan as an influence a lot. And
Yeah, I can hear that.
so he doesn't do a whole lot of
No.
that either.
Here in my car.
Yeah.
I saw Gary Numan at L Club in Detroit a few years ago, and it was great.
Down in the
felt
Park
like-
is such a great song.
I felt like I was in Blade. Like his band looked like that at any moment it was gonna turn.
Wow.
But,
What if
like,
it was a bunch of the Dracula wives? That would
Right?
no,
Oh,
the people in his band were Draculas, straight up.
If you're
I
in a,
feel
if
like
you're in a
you gotta
goth
be-
industrial band, you have
Yeah.
two routes. You go Dracula or you go Cenobite. That is your only choices.
mm,
I mean, I'm telling you, I was laughing so hard, but it was a great maybe one of the best shows I've ever seen. It was fucking great.
I've heard
So-
consistently, the Gary Numan live show. I think he played New York a couple of years ago. So somebody posted from it, and they were like, "This was the show of shows," and I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah, it probably was the same tour. And seeing it at like L Club's like a pretty small
Intimate.
place. It was like packed. We went to the early show. There was an early show and a late show. We went to the
Oh
early show.
wow, okay,
Yeah. It's like 4 p.m.
wow,
Wow.
I guess
I mean, there's no windows. It felt like
That's right. Yeah, the
And
vampires are
Gary's
safe.
Gary, man. He's
Yeah.
you're in Gary's world now.
we were fully in Gary's world. Yeah. Anyway,
I love
that's
it.
important.
Listen,
This episode isn't long enough. Let me inject some boring personal anecdotes.
This is the
I
show.
got a lot of
Yeah, you
Gary
guys miss
Numan.
me.
yes. There is one person on songmeanings.com who believes that this song is basically the same as Pink Floyd's The Wall. And who am
Oh,
I
yeah.
to disagree with them?
Yeah.
Who am I to
You know-
disagree with that?
You hear a statement like that, you just say, "Hell yeah, it sure is."
Hell yeah, brother.
There's
Hell yeah.
there's no conversation you want to have. Somebody tells me, I don't care what it is. It's like Pink Floyd's The Wall. Thumbs up. Right on, dude.
You
Hell
got
yeah.
it.
Fucking totally. I see it. We're on the same page. Say no more.
I gotta go. Have a great life.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. You were right.
You are true. If I hear Pink Floyd mentioned in a sentence, you are guaranteed that I'll be out of that room in under 5
yeah.
minutes.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm Tom Cruise doing the Halo jump if I'm in a plane. I'm just like, well, gotta go. Woo, see you later.
Yeah.
Uh,
Whenever that Keanu Reeves like recent thing about like I don't argue with people anymore, I'm just like, yep. That's not
Yeah.
always true for me, but in this case,
Mm.
hell yeah.
No, I was recently told by somebody at work that if you're an organ donor and they find out, they kill you. And I looked at them and I was like, what is my face saying? And he looked at me and he said, do your research on it. And he left and I was like, thank God. Oh, whew. I did not want to engage with that.
Do your research.
Do my research on the murder squads taking out the organ donors.
They
Yeah.
could have saved your life, but they wanted to save somebody else's.
Here's the thing.
Mhm.
They're not gonna kill somebody who didn't agree to donate their organs. But if somebody did agree to donate their organs, then it's fine to murder. It's a complicated moral code, Lorin. Do your research.
I'm working on it. I was deep in my job and I was like, I'll Google it on lunch, I guess.
That's so funny to me that they're like, we won't kill you and take your organs if you said no. Like, what?
I know. Yeah, it all comes down to the license. Like they see you and they're like, is this guy carrying a card that says I can kill this guy?
Can I see your,
wait.
can
I
I
just wanna
check your
Fucking
can I check
murder
your
this
ID?
guy.
Oh, but if he didn't agree to donate his organs, I can't kill him.
Follow the rules.
I wish people would think like just a half step beyond. Just like ask yourself one question.
One.
Just one.
One.
Just one.
We're
What?
basically
Well, if I go missing,
Yep.
you know why. I don't want to say this because it could be dangerous, but
Mhm.
I'm an organ donor. So
Well, all right. Hope you don't
please
All
tell
right,
my
well,
family, tell my
listen,
family I
rest in
love them
peace.
well.
Yeah, listen,
May
Jenny,
my memory be a blessing, you know.
if you trip and fall outside and a paramedic comes over, they're gonna
Where
see
is
your
this
license.
thumbs up coming from?
I don't know.
It comes up whenever I do a thumbs up because of there's a camera setting that I have to undo.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Matt, you got all the cool effects
Oh.
on yours. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I have some work to do
Um.
if I don't get killed for being an organ donor.
You've-
Right. Right.
Mm.
Listen,
Oh
Jenny, if you like fall down at the mall,
my God.
You're
I
done.
always fall at the mall. Are they tripping me on purpose?
Yeah, they're trying to get you to break your legs so they can put you down like a horse,
God.
yeah.
harvest
Yeah.
your organs.
Yeah.
Stephanie from the pretzel peddler ID'd me when I was buying a pretzel. I thought it was unusual, but now it all makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, they asked for your ID before you bought a pretzel. Yeah,
Well,
they're
I was a
onto it.
really big pretzel. They probably
Oh,
wanted to make
Oh
sure I
yeah,
was old
21
enough.
and over on this
that's
pretzel.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She said it was 34 and over. You can't order a big pretzel. I don't
Unless you're
know.
in your mid-30s. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah. I think this is the perfect time to talk about our next song. Jenny, what do we got?
Narcissistic Cannibal featuring Skrillex and Kill the Noise.
Matt, you seem like you're not a fan of Narcissistic Cannibal.
No, I'm not. What? Why? No. Mm-mm. No. The music does not suit his voice in a way that makes me want to continue to listen. I like Jonathan. Over the years, I've come to appreciate Devis's voice.
Thank you.
But on this, again, musically we're fine. Vocally alone, we're fine, but together it's not meshing well for me. Like my ears hear, I really want to do this, but I want to do this my way, which is the only way to do it the Korn way, but it's still not, it's not locked in. I'm not in it. So, hey, I'm sorry. And then Narcissistic Cannibal, those lyrics to utter those words out loud in a song is preposterous.
Wow.
Oh,
It sounds so silly. You're a narcissistic cannibal. Like what?
I thought
What a fucking stupid concept too. Like, oh, you're so obsessed that you eat people or you eat yourself.
You eat yourself alive is your ego is so big that you begin to eat yourself alive is what the
Yeah.
song is about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear the whole song and it was like, wait a minute, it's not about eating other people, it's about eating yourself. Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know, silly. I think the song is fucking silly and it doesn't work for me.
Interesting. Jenny, we'll go to you.
My favorite song.
This song changed my life.
There it
actually.
is.
Damn it.
I was in a really dark place.
Did you have a wall up?
Yeah, I had a wall up and it was broken down by people and girls. And
Oh,
then I began to eat myself. No, I mean, I hear you. I wonder, like I don't really I don't really listen to a ton of electronic music. Like I like some of it. I've definitely never just like listened to, apparently there's dubstep and drum step, and then there's like some of these songs are neither one of those things because it is like the type of music it is contingent on like the BPM or something like that. I'm completely out of my depth. This is just like something they mentioned in the interview. But I wonder if the fact that like I don't really listen to shit like this, for me it's working and it's great and it's fine. But I don't really like listen to it. So I bet like somebody who's like more into what the genres actually are, like some of the snarkier reviews, it probably would stand out differently than like to someone like me who just like oh, all right, sure, great, so I like it. It's not my favorite song on the record, but it's fine. It works for me. Lauren, what do you think?
I honestly, this one worked for me too. And I wrote in my notes, we about to get hit. When those drums come in, I was like, here we go. The Skrillex squeal noise. It basically it takes you back. It's like I'm back in 2011 when you hear it. And honestly, the credit for this album is that Korn could have just made like a dubstep album and just done it on their own and just gotten some guys. And instead they got, from what, as far as I can tell,
Guys.
They got the guys. I mean, they got Skrillex. So that's the thing. Like, they announced one. I'm sure they announced like, "Here, we're gonna do a dubstep record," and someone's like, "Where are you gonna get Skrillex?" And Korn's like, "Yeah, we got Skrillex. We got him on a bunch of songs. We're buddies." And so, in that way, I think they went in all the way in, and as opposed to half-assing it. This song on headphones, I will say, you can hear some of Fieldy's bass peeking through every now and again. I mean, if you're Korn, you're making music with a guitar that has not 6 strings, but 7.
Right.
Okay, which some may say contributes to the Korn signature sound.
I'd agree.
And you're making noise. I mean, if we think back to the bass sound on a song like Freak on a Leash, which is a rattle,
Mm-hmm.
is this not the next step of discordant, weird noises from Korn?
Oh, I agree completely. Like, I would say that if Korn's music had a shape, it would be angular. Like, it's sharp edges, and yeah, it's very angular. And dubstep is very angular as well. It's very jarring, it's very stuttered, and fret rattle is absolutely that because of the harmony of the vibration in the string and how it hits the fret and how it makes that sound. Yeah, I know why they chose dubstep. Like, fully makes sense.
Songmeanings.com, we have some different opinions about the song. Rojo3S said, I love Korn's music, but this song sucks, in my opinion.
Well, it sounds like Matt wrote that.
It sounds like Matt wrote that. May 11th, 2012. Says, I know they were trying something new with Skrillex, but I don't think it worked. They need to make music like they did in the 90s and early 2000s. That stuff was great.
No.
Riverwolf said, excellent song. While the verses sound like a self-pitying victim wanting revenge against a bullying dictator, it's also interesting that the song is about a blowhard whose ego ultimately brought them down. And No One Careshium said, why is it that the best songs on the Path of Totality had Skrillex involved in some way? Well, I don't know, because Skrillex is the best at his job? I don't know. Why is the employee of the month the employee of the month? I don't know. Because he gets his reports in early? I don't know what to tell you. Because he's a pleasure to be around. That's the thing. He's liked.
She's liked.
Yeah, they're liked. Listen, it comes down to I would say, from all I can tell, people like to work with Skrillex because he's a good hang. I mean, he's across the people that I've seen Skrillex hang out with publicly. Korn, Rick Ross, A$AP Rocky, Diplo. Those are the four that I can think of at the top of my head.
Ixnay on a Diplo.
Yeah.
Oh, some have a Diplo? Is he a bad person now?
A little bit.
Not a good guy? You know, it's surprising because, you know, whenever you see him like publicly and talking, you're just like, what a nice guy. What a good vibe he gives off, you know?
Definitely doesn't give me dirtbag vibes at all. Does not seem like the guy who would groom underage girls in the least.
You know, the thing with Diplo also is that like he'll be somebody who's like just standing doing nothing, and I was like, I don't know if I don't trust him. Like literally just doing nothing. I'm just like, seems unseemly.
No.
Seems unseemly. There's a music video for this song. I'll just read from the Wikipedia. The band filmed a music video for the track on September 27, 2011 at the legendary Roxy Theater in Hollywood. The first 125 fans to show up got in for free to attend the shoot. And it was directed by Alexander Bulkley and produced by Shadow Machine Films, best known for Adult Swim television programs Robot Chicken and Mortal Oral.
There we go. Takes you back.
Takes you back. Yeah. The interesting thing is that for all the music videos, it's all Korn in all of them, and you do not see any of the producers. Excision, Skrillex, none of them show up for the videos, and the band just plays as if this is just how it sounds. Some of the videos, they attach the cameras to the guitars and to the drumsticks, so it's like you're in the drumstick as it hits the drum. Which, you know what?
My dream.
Glad I'm not a drumstick. Seems like a tough line of work.
True.
Yeah. So this song has been performed 197 times by Korn, according to setlist.fm. It was most recently played April 24th, 2021 at the Stranger Things The Drive Into Experience in Los Angeles, California. This is a Stranger Things kind of song.
Definitely.
I could see that. Jenny, what do we got up next?
Up next, we've got Illuminati.
There it is.
Excision and Downlink.
All right. I'm going to say what we're all thinking. This needs a Jared punch up. All right. You cannot call your song the Illuminati and go this vague. Because this song in its current form is Illuminati, they're messing around and I don't like it. No, you've
Can you
got to go in.
imagine? Can you imagine in like that little space right before the second verse started, you just heard 9/11. And
My
then
soul would have left
Jared comes in with the
my soul would
second
have left
verse.
my body. It really, I would have lost it.
Wow. So in the interview that I watched about this, Jonathan Davis talks about this song and how he's been doing some research and kind of getting into like some conspiracy theories, and he's not sure if it's true or not, but and he clearly is like all in, but he doesn't want to say it. And the way he talks about it, he's like, yeah, it's just like now like Obama's in the White House and it's the worst it's ever been. And I just wish like, I remember when people were proud to be American, and now it's like the White House is a disgrace, and people used to be proud to be an American, and they're gonna, make a North American Union like they did in the EU, and then the Russian and the Chinese, and there's going to be one world order. And I was like, "Wha-" I wonder how he feels now. One thing I don't know, this obviously is from when this is from a while back, but I was thinking like his entire lifetime, right? Jonathan Davis was born in 1971. He's 53 years old. So while he was alive, the presidents have been Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, uh, George W. Bush, and then we're in the Obama era. So it's like for most of that, I don't think we were like, these guys are crushing it, they're doing great. He must be like thinking of like the Roosevelt to Kennedy run. Like I don't know. It was very weird, and I was like, "Oh God," but I don't know. I mean, but that's what this is about, is the Illuminati, which he's not sure if it is, but then he goes into this whole thing, and like it was just like wild to me to hear him say that Obama was the worst president we ever had. I was like, "Oh, what?" So who knows? Who knows?
So songmeanings.com only had 2 comments. The first comment was from Jake Rules 44, who posted on December 5th, 2011 and said, "Come on, guys, there has to be something, LOL." Like, there's got to be some sort of meaning here. Then on February 11th, 2012, someone named JDL rolled in and said, "I can remember a time during the 90s when John Davis, obviously misspelled, was asked in an interview on MTV what he thinks about Bill Clinton. And he responded by saying, 'I think the president is awesome.' So that seems to imply that he was a liberal during that time anyway. However, I recently saw him in an interview on YouTube, which made it clear that the song is about Obama. Probably the same one you said, Jenny. John Davis also mentioned in the interview that he sees a one world government coming together and that it's freaking him out. Anyone who is interested in the whole story can see the interview for themselves on YouTube by copy pasting the following address into their address bar. They then include a link to youtube.com/watch. I can tell you that this link did not take me to that interview.
Well, it definitely was the interview I saw, because that's exactly what he said.
Okay, then they follow up and say, "It's good to see that more people are finally seeing Obama for what he is, but it may be too late. If Obama and the Occupy Wall Street fanatics have it their way, we won't even have an election in November 2012.
Buckle up, baby bitch, because
you have no idea.
You don't even know.
And I fear that a year from now we'll be saying "buckle up, baby bitch" to ourselves.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see. Matt, the Illuminati, real fake. What'd you think of the song?
I'm looking for a lot more Illuminatis than Illuminatis.
That's going to take your wall down, right? Right,
That's
Matt?
always, I mean, girls,
people,
girls
who aren't people. I felt the song was good. I like this one a little bit more. Again, it sounded like we had a little vocal processing on there. We had a little extra flair, but like, you can whisper now. You have electronics. Like you could do the Jonathan Devis whisper. Like, I don't know. Subject matter aside, this song was good for me.
There you go. This song has been performed exactly one time on December 6, 2011 at the Hollywood Palladium. And then they said, we're going to put that away and never play it again.
Just gonna fold this up and put this over here.
There we go. All right. Jenny, what do we got up next?
Up next, we have Burn the Obedient featuring Noisia.
More like it. Yeah, I definitely liked the vocal processing there. Appreciated it. I wanted even more. I want them to go. I want him just to be cut, chopped, make Jonathan Devis a robot.
Oh, okay.
for
we
us
are
all.
gonna get that in a little bit. But I do want to ask a question. I haven't asked this question in a long time, and Jenny would not let me ask this question for a long time, but I have to ask it. Is this motherfucker spitting?
Oh boy.
I don't know.
I'm not engaging in
I
this.
don't really think
Is
that
this
motherfucker
motherfucker spitting?
Mm.
I
No.
wrote the verse down. None of you people mean shit to me. Sadistic little fucking fantasy smashed on the ground in your own debris while choking on your blood from the sodomy. None of you people mean shit to me. Sadistic little fucking fantasy. Burn the obedience. Set yourself free. Woo!
I like the comeback in.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, when I heard that the first time, I was like, I don't know what he's saying because there's all these filters on it, but it sounds like the motherfucker's spitting. Shockingly, they have never performed this song live. It may be hard to do. This song, I don't know what I meant. I think what it is that this song reminded me a little bit of the EDM that was also happening in your 2010, 2011 time period, which of course dominated by people like Calvin Harris, but also you have a lot of stuff like Pitbull and LMFAO. And this feels like it could maybe, if you are an adventurous DJ, you could maybe slot this in between at a dance night in like 2011 between like a couple of their type of songs, and it might play. It might clear the floor. It might, but it might also work.
It's gonna clear the floor.
Matt's saying it's gonna clear the floor, but I'm saying if you're a bold DJ, if you're a DJ with courage in your heart, just
if you don't care about a cleared floor, you can put this on.
Listen, maybe somebody dropped a watch or something, and you got to clear the floor anyway to find it. All right, put the song on in between Pitbull's "I Gotta Have It" and LMFAO's "Sexy and I Know It," and it might work out for you. Jenny, how'd you feel about "Burn the Obedient"?
I liked the title. Song was good for me, but there's nothing more that I need to say about that, I don't think.
Okay. All righty. Let's keep it rolling.
All right.
Baby.
Up next, we got Sanctuary featuring Downlink.
So this song felt like a merging of something that would have been on the Queen of the Dam soundtrack, but instead of a vampire on your ceiling, it's MechaGodzilla. And he actually can't,
agree.
and because he's so big, he can't stay on the ceiling, and he has fallen and killed you.
Excuse me.
He's killed you. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So in that way, it was this one. I was like, I see the effort. I see what we're doing. I don't know if it quite works. Because I don't quite know if the vampire Lestat merges well with the MechaGodzilla. So.
You know what? Maybe when people stop being cowards, we'll find out.
That's true. Listen, there are now 2 Godzilla Kong movies, so why not Godzilla Kong, the vampire Lestat?
Yeah, there we go.
That's
Vampire Godzilla. Can you imagine?
Oh my god!
Only comes out at night.
Oh, what if they're in a band together?
There we go. They can only play Red Rocks at that point.
But okay. So you got Lestat on vocals, and you got Lestat on vocals. Okay, so who's bass, guitar?
Oh, Godzilla's bass.
Godzilla's bass. Kong on drums.
Yeah.
Pretty strong.
Munky on guitar.
Monkey on guitar.
guitar.
Skrillex on processors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Monkey's got to go. He's got to go because he's like, listen, I gotta just get out of my house for a minute.
I just gotta
leave for just a minute.
back on the road.
Godzilla's wife posts the same kind of pictures.
She is all over him.
She has to let people know.
This is my man. Yeah.
There's some level of degraded trust in that relationship.
Wait, hold on. I believe Godzilla is a woman.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Why can't Godzilla have a wife?
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. You're totally right.
You know what?
Not a line.
What the fuck?
Hey, man.
I'm sorry. I misgendered Godzilla.
Yeah. Godzilla, well, I think maybe I did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
and then I was just sexist against Godzilla.
Well, you were homophobic against Godzilla.
That's what it was.
Because Godzilla is a lesbian. Or some other sexuality. Listen, I don't know. I didn't write Godzilla. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But in my /fix, Godzilla,
right?
Everybody.
That's yes.
Oh, Godzilla is I mean, if you saw Godzilla -1, you know that there are many meetings about Godzilla. So
look, Godzilla has a lifestyle, and if you aren't cool with that, then you aren't cool, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Godzilla swings.
Imagine showing up to Hedonism 2 and Godzilla's just hanging out at the beach, and you're just like, how do I approach?
No, but luckily Godzilla, because they realized the language difference, and it just has a sign that says "down for whatever."
Yeah, it's a pineapple on there.
Yep, lots covered.
Covered.
There it is. I do say though that if you're a human being and you try to do it, you'll probably die. Yeah. Just putting that out there.
Dying from ecstasy.
Hey, there you go.
Puts a little claw on your anus.
Yep.
Breathing fire.
Yep. There you go. That's it.
All right. That bit I think has been taken to such Glenn points.
What? Where's the camera? There it is.
5 more minutes.
Why can't I find? There it is. What? Oh, I don't know. I've never used a computer before.
What are these?
Perfect. All right, it's time to talk about the song that made me write "oh shit" in my notes. Jenny,
that's "Let's Go" featuring Noise.
So I have to say, listening to this album, if you listen to this album, as I tried to over the years in one sitting, I don't recommend it. It's just too much bludgeon one after the other. But if you listen to this album with little breaks in between, I did notes for this album over 2 days, and I took little breaks in between songs to write notes down. And when you do that, you can notice more differences between the songs. And some songs that might have been lost in your listens because it's just, one after the other, they're nonstop. And this isn't a very long album either. But then you catch more nuance. And I would say, doing my notes, I was like, this is the song. Like, this is the best song on the album. And this is the one that I think, really, I feel like I would have known this song and probably appreciated it sooner if it had been the first song on the album. For one, it's called Let's Go. And you see that, and I'm like, Jonathan Devis better scream "Let's Go" right up top, or this song doesn't work. And he doesn't. He says it like 4 times in the song, and every time I am hyped. I am feeling it. I'm like, this is the one. So I feel like this is honestly the best synthesis of what they're trying to do, of Korn with dubstep. Because it feels like classic Korn, and yet also feels like the dubstep. I think it all worked here. The science worked here, everybody. And so for me, this is my favorite song on the album. I love this one. Jenny?
Oh, so I only listened to it the whole way through, each one of my listens. But you really sold me. I was kind of like whatever on this song. I thought it was good, but I think you're right. So there you go. I agree with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Matt, do you also agree that this is the best song you've ever heard?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is interesting because in listening to this song, I feel like this is as good as it can get. and it's not good. It is
That's a got him.
That's a got him.
Got him.
That's a got. You can see that got him from space.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Oh my Lord.
because I do feel like it is the synthesis of the dubstep style and Korn style, and all it does is make me want to hear Korn, like earlier stuff. I want to go back to Follow the Leader. I want to go back to this. Feels like we have Korn at home. It isn't it. I feel like it is the best mesh of the two that we've heard on the whole record, and it just makes me wistful for Korn's earlier work, which is not good. You know, it's not what they're going for. I think they are successful here in doing it, and also unsuccessful in taking me with them.
I see.
Which, you know, fuck me. Who cares about if I'm going with them or not?
Matt,
like,
Matt, own it. Own it.
Well, you know, like in listening to it, I had a thought in my head. Like sometimes producers can bring in other producers who add their signature style to what they're doing, and the artist can take it and they go along with it and they make it their own. I don't feel like that's what's happening here. I don't feel like Korn has made dubstep their own, and dubstep isn't Korn. So it's like I think that's where I'm the blending of the styles doesn't work in the way that makes it feel fresh. It makes it feel like, okay, yep, they can do it. They can do it, but I don't think this is them at peak power.
Okay.
And I miss Head.
Oh, as do we all. Songmeanings.com. No one Careshium said, sounds like he's in a relationship with a really needy, unstable person, and he feels he needs to be out of the relationship, even though he still cares for the person. IDK, that's just my opinion. Own your opinion on songmeanings.com. It's literally why it's there. Okay? It's why it's there. I do like the idea of what they're putting out there as saying, like, this relationship isn't working, and then Jonathan Devis saying emphatically, let's go. So
let's go. We gotta leave.
Yeah.
Let's go out of this relationship.
Let's go. Yeah. It's not working, so let's go.
There we go. There we go.
There we have it. This song has been performed exactly once on November 3rd, 2011 at the House of Blues in Boston, Mass. I don't know why. Play this one all the time. Let's go. Bring it back.
Go.
Bring it back this summer.
All right. Up next, we've got Get Up featuring Skrillex.
So I'm going to tell you that if I am a person going to purchase a Korn album and it doesn't have a part on it where Jonathan Devis screams, shut the fuck up, get up, then I return it to the manufacturer as defective. So when this happened, I said, okay, this is definitely a Korn album because this is happening. This is happening. This is what I want to have happen. This one, I feel like in 2011, the Wubs probably were like, yep, that's what you're supposed to be doing. On my listens in 2024, at a certain point, I was like, some of these Wubs, I could use like 30 to 40% less Wubs. The Wubs started to grate on me, but also we're what, 9 tracks in. I mean, that's just how this album is. It just starts to grate on you a little bit. This was the opening single. And there is, we'll get to it, but I want to go around first. But there's a part that Matt is going to want to hear. But Jenny, thoughts on Get Up?
I love the song. It's my favorite song on the record. I loved all the Wubs. This was the one where I had my old thought of being like, wow, dubstep is pretty awesome.
This rocks.
This rocks. I gotta say, this rocks. Yeah. So this right here, it rocks. Where's my camera? This rocks. This rocks. Yeah. Yeah. So I love it. I don't know. I'm all in. I'll listen
She's
to
all
this
in.
again. Yeah.
There you go. Matt.
I would say I've been waiting for this particular moment, the whole record, the get up, uh, shut the fuck up, get up. And he's screaming, which I've also really been like a real, like going for it scream, which I've been missing. The dynamics on the album haven't vocally for Mr. Devis haven't been as pronounced as they are in this song. I think this song, he really delivers the goods. Um, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I do agree. 30% less wubs, because it just kind of dates it a little bit. And it's like, all right, yep, we get it. So just a little less of that. But yeah, this is great.
All right, Matt. I need you to go to 225. This is the moment you've been waiting for.
I was hoping for a little more than
well, Matt,
like, shut up. It's funny. It's so good. It goes hard and it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
what more could I ask for? Not a lot.
You're right, Jenny. I'm an idiot.
There's a couple different interpretations of what it sounds like here, of what it sounds like is happening to Jonathan Davis here. I think the most pedestrian is that Jonathan Davis got stuck in a washing machine. I think the most exciting one is that Jonathan Davis is having sex with a MechaGodzilla. It's killing him, but he's giving it his best.
He's got a claw in his butt.
He's got his claw in his butt. It's all metal, and yet you still hear him going, "Ah!" every now and again. And actually, every time his voice like clips in, I was like, this is honestly kind of fucking great. And I wrote in my notes that it really separates the men from the boys because they cracked a window and they let Skrillex cook.
Wow.
Let Skrillex cook. Mushak's cooking. Skrillex is cooking.
Because here's the thing, like when you're gonna get Skrillex in, it's like, okay, he's gonna give you his wubs, he's gonna give you his drops, but a lot of his songs do have these freak out moments, and it's like you gotta let Skrillex do that to Korn, and they do it here. It all comes together here. So now, Jenny, was Jonathan Devis forthcoming in his interview about what the song is about?
I actually don't remember if he
Okay.
talked about this song. I would imagine that they must have, but I don't recall what he said.
Okay. Then that probably means that he probably said something fairly unremarkable, because the quote attributed to him on songmeanings.com, I kind of can't believe is true. And I will just read it. It's from Outlaw Adidas. And they said, JD said this: "Get Up is about the recession. I wish everyone would shut the fuck up and have some fun. Every day I've got to hear about unemployment and people starving." And then they have a link to an enemy link that does not work. And I was like, I don't know if I believe this is what Jonathan Davis is saying here. Jonathan Devis.
Yeah, so we could attribute it to him not saying that or my memory. Maybe he did. I feel like I would remember that, but perhaps not.
Could you imagine Munky and Fieldy on either side of him? And he's like, I'm tired of everybody just complaining about
being poor.
being poor. I want to hear about that.
I can definitely imagine him saying a version of that could be like interpreted that, but
and then Fieldy's just like, we just made an album called Remember Who You Are.
Yeah.
Remember who you are.
Well, all Fieldy said, from what I mean, he made like a couple comments here and there, but one of the things he said was they were doing a show and he brought some specific dubstep song and like showed it to like Munky and Fieldy, and Jonathan was like, oh, and Fieldy was like super impressed, and Fieldy went, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do. It's not, I'm not impressed. And that's like all he said. I was like, okay.
Listen.
And that's hard to do.
This interview thing doesn't do it for me. Not impressed.
No. So just so you know, if you impress Fieldy, doesn't happen easily. I love when people are like that. That's not easy to impress me. Like, okay.
Old Stonewall over here.
Oh my God. Like, go fuck yourself.
That's basically like, I have no joy in my life, and I don't let happy things in.
Yeah, let's see if you can impress me. It's gonna take something special. Like, no. Go on. Who cares? Who
Well,
cares?
looks like you're gonna have a hard time, sir.
Yeah.
The Get Up music video, directed by two people, took two people to direct this music video. Sebastian Paquette and Joshua Allen, shows Korn performing the song to their fans. It shows different footage switching between Korn fans backstage and the band's additional live musicians. The band is having fun in this video. The cameras, as I said in the other video, the cameras are attached to the mic stand. They're attached to the guitars. They're attached to the drumsticks. At the big freakout section that we just listened to, the camera is everywhere. It's in the audience. It cuts to a man who looks like his head's about to explode. I would say this is a very good live video. I wrote in my notes, Korn, they're good.
You know?
They're
good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. We got a few left. Jenny, did we talk about what the genre tags are for this album?
We did not talk about the genre tags for this album, but I'll tell you right now, the genre tags for this album: nu-metal, dubstep, drum and bass, and electronics.
There we go. All right, what do we got up next?
Up next, we've got Way Too Far, featuring 12th Planet and Flinch.
I'm
Matt,
a bad little boy. I take things way too far.
Matt, you seem to be pushing against the concept that what goes up must come down. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you a gravity truther?
I told you, this hat blocks me from the waves.
That's right.
No, it's just a fucking lazy lyric. That's all. Like, you're Jonathan Davis. You've expressed.
I'm sorry. He's who? He's who?
Jonathan Devis.
Thank
you. You've expressed your pain. There is a point 20 years into the game where it's like, are we okay? We're going for what goes up must come down. All right. You did Chutes and Ladders. I mean, like, you literally have done the up and down. I don't know. What a shitty lyric from a guy who does great lyrics. It just, I don't know. I hear that from somebody 20 years in, and it's just like, first draft, worst draft. All right, roll the tape. Let's go.
It's true.
I got a date with a Godzilla.
Jenny, thoughts on Way Too Far?
Yeah, for me, it was a very Korn song, like, thematically. Jonathan Davis did say that this is about how he takes things way too far because when he gets mad, he just, like, has no control. So in, like, his relationship, he'll just take things way too far and say things he doesn't mean, or talking about his interactions with other people. He just, like, takes it way too far when he gets mad, or he'll run into someone when he's having a bad day, and then, like, he'll get set off and take it way too far. He said way too far like 7,000 times. This was a video that you said I had to watch.
Yes.
It was, so I'll give you a little peek behind the old curtain here. Mitch and I discovered a channel. We got, like, one of those little, like, that's not a satellite, but an antenna for a TV, that you can just, like, get whatever. And there's all these channels that just air the best fucking stuff. But there's one called Defy, and it's just like History Channel shows. Basically, it's like Forged in Fire, Counting Cars, some one about a guy who, like, is an exterminator. It's like every guy wearing a bandana. And the video for this just reminded me of, like, the content on that channel. It was very masked. Like, I expected, like, a commercial for, like, a testosterone supplement to, like, pop up at any moment. Race cars, guns. What else happened in this video?
So what I liked about this video was that clearly the idea, well, according to Wikipedia, it says the video was conceptual, and its concept features each band member taking things, quote, way too far.
Yeah, there we go.
It also feels Jonathan Davis's alter ego, J Devil. So we've heard about J Devil.
Yes, we have.
He appears in this video. So I'm like, well, how is Korn, each individual member, going to take things too far? So first, we see Ray. How does Ray take things too far? Well, he shows up at the performance space and he puts too many drums in it. So
Okay.
when Korn shows up, they go, "What's with all the drums?
You can't hit all those.
You can't hit all those." Jonathan Davis is like, what are we doing here?
You took it way too far,
You took
Ray.
it way too far. So when that happens, I am dying. I'm already laughing because I'm like, wait, this is the way too far of the video? So then I'm like posted up, like I've gone full screen on my computer and I'm like, what's the next thing? So then Fieldy goes to a tattoo shop. And Jenny, what does he do?
I actually don't remember what he does. What did he do?
He gets his whole face tattooed.
Oh, okay.
And then he looks in the mirror and he goes, yeah. And the tattoo artist shakes his head and goes, no, in this way that says, I think he took things way too far.
Now, I was not paying full attention to the video. I will say I was up and down with it, but I did hear a buzz of a tattoo something. And I'm like, all right, of course. So thank you for putting that piece together for me.
You're welcome. The next, we find Munky. Munky is driving in one vehicle. He then parks that vehicle. He trades keys. He's now in a stock car, NASCAR stock car. And he is driving super fast. I'm now waiting. That's it. He just drives the car really fast on a closed track. Like, I was like, that's how he takes things too far? Is he goes to like a safe location and drives a car really fast?
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, you know, he's got a vampire at home who wants him to be back at 5 o'clock. So be safe out there. So Munky.
Danger around every turn.
Absolutely. But then good old JD, Jonathan Devis, comes it back. He drives out to the desert, pulls out a lot of guns.
Yeah, he sure does.
A lot of guns, all types of guns. And he sets up a old TV that I think has like an MTV logo on it. Yeah. And he starts shooting at this, just unloading. However, the camera cuts back to the car. Because who's in the car, Jenny?
I don't remember who's in the car. Who's in the car?
It's J Devil.
Oh,
it's J Devil.
Oh.
Jonathan Devis' alter ego, and he's got black contacts and black teeth, and he's got the face of someone who's mischievous.
Okay,
who's up to something.
Okay, I fully didn't even remember that J Devil was a thing when I was watching the video, and I was like, okay, so we've got like, I thought you meant somebody other than him. I did see that, but I was just like, okay, like I don't know, like it didn't. I missed the point.
Got it.
I'm a lazy viewer.
It's all right.
Sorry to say.
That's J Devil. So Jonathan Devis firing his guns in the desert, blowing stuff up. He walks over to where he's just destroyed this TV with his guns. J Devil comes out of the car, picks up one of the guns, and shoots Jonathan Devis to death. And we got
way too far.
We took it way too far. And then he's got a look on his face of like, did I do that? Am I doing things a little too far?
Wow.
I'm a naughty boy.
I just murdered someone in the desert.
He's probably an organ donor.
Oh, totally.
Jenny
knows.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, with this new information I have.
Yeah.
I'm connecting the dots.
You put it together. And so yeah, I thought this video was hysterical in the choices of the things that of taking things way too far. I do want this concept to go to other bands though, and I want to see what other bands would consider taking things way too far to mean. I think we could get a lot of funny stuff. Do not give it to Rammstein though. No.
That would be bad.
No. They'd be like, do not understand the concept. Way too far.
That's where they start.
That's where they hang out.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So we have, let me see. This is, all right. So if you have the standard edition of this album, we're about to hit the finale, but we're about to do the special edition. We got 2 more after that. So, Jenny, how would you close out the standard edition of this album?
If you only had the standard edition, your last song would be Bleeding Out featuring Feed Me.
Listen, Jonathan Devis singing I'm Bleeding Out is what we go to Korn for, once
Yeah.
again. Yeah. I'm a little surprised he hasn't had a song like that. It took album 10 to be like, have I? Hey, quick band meeting. Have I talked about bleeding out in a song?
Yeah, constantly.
Mm-hmm. From
Oh.
time to time. Yeah.
From time to
Yeah.
time. Okay. Well, I'm going to do it again.
Cool.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Great.
Cool.
Great.
All right. Okay. Cool meeting. All right. Gotta go. Bye.
My wife is trying to drain my blood.
That's what you get for marrying a vampire. Jenny, what'd you think of Bleeding Out?
I thought it was all right. I mean, definitely felt like something to take you out on. But for me, it wasn't one of my faves on the record.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
You know, I thought it was all right as a closer, if we want to look at it that way. I like the beeps and boops. I wrote down the lyric, anything you ever do will eat you up and impale you. I was like, okay, all right, I'm with that. But there is a sense, once again, though, where like there is that extra electronic layer that I sometimes want to strip back, and it feels a little bit. And the thing is that, like, in the standard, Jenny, how long is this out? Well, Matt, did you want to ask that question?
I can ask right now. The bonus edition, how respectful of our time is it?
The bonus edition comes in at 44 minutes and 30 seconds.
So respectful.
Yes,
Respectful.
the standard edition comes in at 37:45.
Holy.
So you could have listened to this four times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you didn't, did you?
You didn't.
Did you?
No.
How dare you listen to our show?
And so there is a sense a little bit of like I don't know, like somebody that has decided that they have this jacket that they love, but you just it bugs you, and they just keep showing up wearing this fucking jacket, and you're just like, I don't think the jacket's working for you, and they're like, no, I'm making it work. It goes with these pants. And you're like, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel sometimes with the level of wubbing and electronic on this album. Sometimes I think it works, but more often than not, I don't know if it quite merges for me. So also at 3:40, you do get the bagpipes. They do bring some bagpipes in. So did you want to hear that, Matt? Did you want to hear some bagpipes?
I don't know. Maybe just a few seconds of bagpipes. And there they are. All right.
True to his word.
A few seconds of bagpipe.
Perfect. So songmeanings.com has a comment from No One Careshium, once again, who said that this is a song fact. They said, fun fact. JD got the inspiration for the song when he was smoking under a tree by his house and was constantly pestered by the mice running through the branches. One day he got a rifle and shot one of them, and it fell to the ground, and its insides were bleeding out all over the place. The lyrics seem to talk about someone who is constantly taking advantage of the author, and the author is tired of serving the person over and over again and never getting anything in return. At least that's what I got from the chorus.
Okay. This is the most untrue story I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's actually Snopes coming through. He did say that in the interview I watched.
Oh my God.
He said that they were rats running through his berry trees in his backyard. So he'll be trying to sit out there and smoke, or be like out there with like his kids, and they just are like falling out of the tree like onto their heads. And so one day he got out a 22 with rodent shells or some rodent bullets.
Right. It's starting to.
He shot one of them, and that's for the. I just know it sounds fake. It's very Galapagos-y.
I was with Matt 100%. I thought this was like, I was reading this, was like, this is absurd. I love that
he fully said it. Yeah.
Okay. So. If he's here's why. He shot a mouse with a rifle.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you shoot a fucking mouse with a rifle, there's no more mouse. I don't know what to tell you.
No, it was a little bit off, but mostly true.
I mean, well, maybe it was big rats, I I don't know.
I mean, it sounds horrifying to me, just like sitting in your backyard and a rat falls on your head.
Mm,
I'm not
yeah.
interested in that
No,
experience.
No.
I probably would also pull a gun out too at that point. So
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But like bleeding out and all over the place. It's like, how much blood do you think rats and mice have? They are not large creatures.
maybe he had some blood bags back there, Matt. You know, he just had some real
Oh,
blood
they're
packed
vampire
rats.
rats. Yep.
Vampire,
Classic
yeah,
vampire rat.
vampire rat, absolutely. Well, isn't that the shorthand in any vampire movie? Like, how do you emphasize that a vampire is fallen on hard times?
He's
He's
eating
eating
rats.
rats.
True. Good
Mhm.
point. Good
Yep.
point.
Yeah. So, all right, we are on to the deluxe edition tracks. Got two of them. Jenny, what do we got first?
We've got Fuels the Comedy featuring Kill the Noise.
I'm
boy.
gonna say it. This song is not named correctly. I know he says fuels the comedy in the chorus, but this song should be called "Suck My Motherfucking Dick." It's the only title.
That did make me laugh, I will say.
Especially how he leans into the dick part when he's like, "Dick." I was like, "That's okay. Well done. Well done." That's when I knew I was like, "We definitely have." Also, I'm gonna say it once again. These verses, is this motherfucker spitting?
Oh boy, no.
No. No.
No, I'm gonna say not on this one.
Also, it's really funny that he says that one line. I wrote in my notes, telling someone to suck your dick, and then immediately following it with the line, "What's with all this hostility?" Beautiful, hilarious. I love
Perfect dissonance.
it. Korn, you're the best. You're the best in the biz, baby.
I don't have anything else to say about this song, Jenny.
No, there's a run of comments in the song meanings, but I don't know that they're worth getting into. So yeah, it's basically like this is a fuck the haters song. Like, yep.
You think?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone. The comments were honestly a little like I
It's
was
just like a little too far.
yeah, like, they took things a little way too far. I would
Way
say,
too
yeah, the
far.
comments, yeah, they got real personal, and I was like, I listen to the lyrics again on this song before. you
Yeah,
get
I was like, I
serious.
don't actually think. So anyway, if you're interested, you can go read that on my website, songmeanings.com
Absolutely.
/song/view/353-0822-107. So blah, 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 blah. I'm just kidding. That's not even the right one. Because up next, we've got our final track of the album.
Final
It's-
track.
That's right. It's Tension featuring Excision, Datsik, Downlink, and Infected Mushroom.
No one says we have to listen to more.
Oh well, Matt, I had to break it to you, but
Fuck.
we do have something else we have to
Yeah.
listen to. It
I
is.
hate to agree.
This is. I'm gonna put it down there. This is essential listening. What is about to happen? It is. Is this the craziest scat Jonathan Davis has ever done, Jenny?
I think we should listen and decide.
240, Matt.
240.
Was that when you were saying you wish that he'd just like go all in, Matt?
That was
not what I meant.
Okay. I just
Did he take it way too far, Matt? Did he take it way too far?
In the wrong direction, but yes. Yeah. He was like, oh, I love dubstep. I love the sounds. You know what I can do with my voice? The sounds of dubstep. Not please vocally process my voice to make it sound like dubstep. No. I got boom. No, but boo.
all
right, because I think the reason that this happened is Jenny, run down the names again on the song. Who produced it?
That would be Excision and Downlink and Datsik, and according to song meanings, Infected Mushroom, but that is not cited on the Wikipedia. But I don't know if like those
or on the
people are
album
in.
here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe some of those people are in Infected Mushroom. Like I don't fucking know.
I don't know. But if he's got all of his dubstep friends in the room, And these are people that are probably all met him and said, hey, been a Korn fan since day one. Love you guys. Honored to be here. Are you going to scat on this song? You haven't scatted on the album. Are you going to scat on the song? And Jonathan Davis is like, I'm going to do you one better. I'm a dubstep scat it. And they're probably hyped. I bet you the room was on fire when he did this. They were so hyped. Jonathan Davis, my hero, Jonathan Devis, I should say, my hero, doing the noises that I make with his mouth.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. Someone did transcribe it on songmeanings.com. Thank you, Freezy T. Appreciate that. So if you want to see what he said, they've transcribed it. They also said this is a sick song. I think it sounds, if the sounds that Jonathan Davis has made on this album have indicated sex with a MechaGodzilla, this sounds like a little bit like he is falling down a staircase with a MechaGodzilla.
Got it.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, that's the album, The Path of Totality by Korn. And now it's the part of the show where we talk about
Canon Talk.
Talk about the canon.
Jenny, we will start with you.
So I actually really, really liked this record. I thought it was fun to listen to. It made me laugh. I was into it, but I don't, I wouldn't put anything in the canon. I would put the dubstep scat in the junk drawer. But yeah, for me, this isn't really, I liked it. I had fun listening to it, but there's nothing that feels essential to me in this record.
Okay. It was very interesting to listen to this album. Every listen felt brand new to me. At times it felt unlistenable, and then it would become listenable again. And sometimes I would, get caught up in a certain sound issue, and I'd be like, weird sound issue. And then sometimes I'm like, these are dumb lyrics, but it's Korn, it's fine. I don't feel like it's a phone in though. I feel like Korn are all in on here. I give them credit for that. And I was like thinking about it though, in comparison to the last few Korn records that we've done, that we've also not inducted into the canon, Korn 3, Korn Untitled. And I was like, I know that those albums were not as hard of a listen as this album was, but this album's more interesting than those albums. And which I feel like is a credit to it. I also don't know if I'd put anything in the canon. My one thought was maybe Get Up, just because it's this, like, they're doing it. Like, it's like the merging. It's probably one of the best mergings on the album of like them with Skrillex doing what they do, doing the Korn thing at the same time. But I also could see just not putting anything. It's just sort of like a Noble Phil experiment. I do 100% agree that the dubstep scat is 100% going into the Nu-Metal junk drawer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Matt?
So I don't think it's particularly hot take to be like, oh, I don't like this album, or that it's not good. I actually think that it is very interesting, and I do think that there's a lot of things in it that you've got to say that Korn went for it. They absolutely went for it. But I would say that your analogy of someone who wears a coat and is like, this fucking coat again, kind of wears, but I would actually call it a fedora. It's like, oh, you have a fedora. That's cool. That really works with your 20s themed suit. And then it's the next day and they're wearing the fedora with blue jeans. And it's like, stop. No, why? No, the fedora doesn't go with everything. Dubstep is the fedora in this analogy. It doesn't go with everything. They don't go for it. When they go for it, it's funny and or interesting. Like, that scat is ridiculous, but it is also like very Korn, embracing the style, not in the way that I wanted them to, but in the way that Korn does. I feel like Jonathan Davis's voice doesn't really lend itself that well to electronic music in this way, in the heavy electronic, because his voice has that like lilt to it, where it's like a lot of electronic singers are a lot more direct, a lot flatter, a lot more monotone, and the dynamics of Jonathan's voice don't always lend itself well to the style. So no for me on anything in the canon. and I would have liked them to pull back just a little bit, been a little bit more Korn, but then I don't think it would be the same record, so it would have fucked it up. They went for it. It was a big swing. I don't think they missed, but I don't think it was a home run. But yeah, 100% junk drawer for that scat.
All right. Well, there you have it. Nothing for the Canon, one for the junk drawer. I've added it to here. This is our newest addition to the junk drawer since we put in Robbie Williams' cover of Rollin'. So
Wow.
there you have it. And that does bring us to the end of another episode of Roach Koach, our special Monday Path of Totality edition. I hope you're listening to this while wearing your special glasses for the eclipse.
Yes, please do not look directly into
Do
the sun.
not look into the sun. You will be blinded.
I heard on Twitter that it's bad luck to look at the eclipse even with glasses on.
Bad luck.
Yep.
Bad luck.
Twitter astrologer said it. So
Okay.
I mean, we all live by luck here. So.
Right. Yeah.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Don't press your luck.
Don't press your luck. Don't take things
way too far.
No, don't take it too far.
Don't take it way too far.
Yeah. But I mean, also, I believe honestly, Jenny, I think you're right though, because I think Twitter also says that if you're an organ donor, you're going to get murdered.
Which we have determined is true.
Is true. But thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Jenny, thank you once again for stopping by. It's our boys in Korn, and so always a pleasure. And keep on saying hello to us online, everybody. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all of those. Send us an email, roachkoachpodcast@gmail.com. The pact is, of course, ongoing over at patreon.com/roachkoachpodcast. New episode will be debuting in about a week as this episode goes up. And it's another hot one. And I think you're going to love it. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lorin, thank you.
Jenny,
thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Roach Koach
Podcast.
Hot all day, every day. There's the Roach Koach
Podcast.
All day, every day.